Hello YouTube. So about 5 months ago, I did a review of Metal Gear Solid HD. And at the end of said review, I had said that I'm going to do a review on just HD collections as a whole. How do the other HD collections stack up? Well, typically they're PS2 games, except for in Metal Gear Solid's case, it had Peace Walker, which is a PSP game. And typically they add trophies and added content. They change around the controls a little bit to modernize them, essentially. Or at least they did with MGS and, unfortunately, Devil May Cry. It kind of ruined it, in my opinion. But, more on that later. The trophies in most of the games have to feel like they're natural. I mean, that's one of the challenges, because PS3 and 360, the games are designed with the trophies in mind, and the achievements in mind. But these games, however, were made before all that. So, adding them on after the fact is a little bit tricky in how to do that. So, from the developer's point of view, I can definitely see that. And some of them are really good, such as the God of War collection, the Sly collection, having you go all out of the way to get those extra power-ups, as well as the God of War collection, Metal Gear Solid collection. I don't know about the Jak and Daxter because I haven't played it, again. But the two that I really didn't like, trophy-wise, were these two. Eco had a few good trophies, and it had a good premise, but overall, it was just kill the boss, defeat this, do that, beat the game. And Shadow of the Colossus was even worse. It only had like 5-6 trophies, as far as I can tell. And they were all like beat boss 1, beat boss 2, beat boss 3 kind of trophies. And then you platinum it. And then there's Devil May Cry. It had okay trophies. It wasn't as good as Metal Gear Solid or God of War or Sly, by any means. But it wasn't bad. It had trophies such as beat all the missions, find all the bonus missions, and those are pretty tricky to find sometimes. So there was a trophy for that. There was a trophy for having a certain amount of red orbs, and just a bunch of other things like that you wouldn't really think of in normal gameplay. And that's what's important, is utilizing these Easter eggs for that kind of means, and just giving that satisfactory results from that, in my opinion. So, other than that, there is the textures, the up-res textures, and let's start off. I've got a pile here. Metal Gear Solid, they did a phenomenal job. All the cutscenes in the originals were in-game, and they looked beautiful. Like, I mean, Metal Gear Solid 2 and Metal Gear Solid 3 are probably my favorites, like PSP or PS3 games, especially MGS3 graphic-wise. I mean, it just blows even some PS3 games out of the water. The HD version of Metal Gear Solid 3 actually stands up to some PS3 games. And that's amazing. And just what they did with the lighting, they took out the jagged edges. It was phenomenal. And same with God of War. God of War 2, I saw a screenshot. I haven't played the actual PS2 versions of these games, the God of War ones, but I've seen a ton of screenshot comparisons, and the God of War original series was really pixelated, and the HD collection really did a great job on remastering them. So, controls. Metal Gear Solid had already whacked up controls a little bit, where you press circle to continue, and that got really confusing after a while and convoluted, especially after every other game has X as the controls. So they actually fixed that. They actually made it so that X was the controls for the confirm button. So, and Devil May Cry HD, I know they changed it around a bunch. I can't play this HD collection, the Devil May Cry one. I can play 3, but after playing the first game for original PlayStation 2, I can't get used to the controls. They feel really awkward. So, and back to the graphics thing, Metal Gear Solid does a good job, God of War does a good job, Sly does a good job, and Shadow of the Colossus does a pretty great job as well. But Devil May Cry, Still, it has the standard definition menus. Every time you pause, it goes into full screen, even on a full screen TV. So you could be on a full screen TV and it would still have those black bars in there, and it would be standard definition menus. So that being said, there's also the issue of the cutscenes being in standard definition. It just seems like with this one collection, the HD collection for Devil May Cry, they just kind of did a half-assed job. I mean, I'm not going to say piss poor by any means, because Devil May Cry 3 looks beautiful, but it just doesn't seem as polished as the other HD collections are in those terms. So, as far as controls go, 3 I can tolerate, because it's a little different with the handling for Devil May Cry. And I wouldn't know about the Sly collection or the God of War collection, as I have never played them on the original PS2. I played the first God of War, actually, for PlayStation 2, but not 2. So, what else is there? Is there bonus content? What do they take out? What happens? For Metal Gear Solid, I can tell you, they actually take a bunch of stuff from each version, because they each came with, like, Substance, came with the VR missions, and regrettably skateboarding is not in there anymore in the games, so you're going to have to break out your old PS2 if you want to skateboard with Raiden or Snake, so that's the only thing that they didn't include with that one. And in 3, they had an entirely, like a 3-disc set, and the camera from Subsistence is still in there, which is really good, but it also, one of the most important things, it includes 2 new games, Metal Gear and Metal Gear 2 Solid Snake. Well, I shouldn't say new, it's old, but it includes those games, and a ton of other extras. It leaves out the online, regrettably, but I guess that's a small price to pay, as there is Metal Gear Online from MGS4. And as far as Devil May Cry goes, I haven't really looked into it as much, but I think everything that was on the PS2 games is on the HD collection, and maybe a little bit more. I'd have to look into it. But Shadow of the Colossus is pretty good about those extras. It even has an added-in 3D camera, which makes, or an added-in 3D vision, so it'll make everything on the screen look like it's 3D, and that was very well done, actually. I'm not a really big fan of Shadow of the Colossus, by any means, because it just feels like you're dropped in a dead world with no human interaction or no, like, opposition or anything. It's just kind of there, you know? But, I'm not a huge fan of the game, but I will admit the 3D camera was placed very nicely, the 3D vision. So, you have the option to turn that on for both Eco and Shadow of the Colossus. And in God of War, it has all the extra fight modes and everything, and all the costumes, like Kratos' cow suit, the God of War. I mean, it's just great. It's a riot, you know? So, that being said, all of these extras and more are combined together in a package in which you would otherwise be buying separately. All these games you would be buying separately if you did not get this collection. So, if you're a new fan, I think it's pretty worth it. If you are a devoted fan, I think it's pretty worth it. Because, I mean, you want the extra challenge. You want it to look good, and plus, PS2 games these days don't really look good. They don't really stand up on a widescreen TV, especially HD. The only one that I've played that can stand up to it is Metal Gear Solid 3. And that's just because I'm a Metal Gear Solid nerd. But, the graphics are phenomenal, though. I can tell you that much. And this HD collection, these HD collections, all make the graphics that much better. So, are HD collections worth it? Do you want to spend an extra $50 for trophies, up-res textures, and possibly bonus content? You decide. Subscribe and comment below. Thank you very much.